Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is a family. One is a relative, the other stranger, says the small-minded. The entire world is a family, live the magnanimous.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Principal Sir, esteemed guests, respected dignitaries, faculty members, and dear students. I, Devansh Negi, with my co-anchor Srishti Sharma, on behalf of the Department of Geography, Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi, it is my honor to welcome the honorable dignitaries, respected faculty members, esteemed participants from across the world to this prestigious International Conference 2024. Today, we are privileged to gather under the insightful theme of Urban Development Missions, Restructuring of Spaces, and Emergence of New Urbanism.
This theme encapsulates the transformative dynamics of urban spaces, highlighting the complexities and potential of urban development missions as they reshape our cities, economy, and culture. Through this conference, we aim to foster a robust exchange of ideas and insights that will contribute to the understanding and innovating within urban landscapes.
To mark the auspicious beginning of our conference, we shall now proceed with the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. I humbly request our dignitaries to kindly do the honors. May I request the members of Audiophile, the Music Society of Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi, to present Saraswati Vandana and their melodious voices.
Saraswati Namastubhyam Saraswati Namastubhyam Varde Kamarupini Varde
With the light of knowledge guiding our path, let us now unite in pride and respect for our esteemed institution. I invite you all to rise and join us for the Kulgeet of the University of Delhi.
जयति जय जय ज्ञान आलोक अनुपम शेष सुंदर देव विश्वविद्यालय जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान आलोक अनुपम सकल वसुधा निज कुटुंब की भावना संस्कृति सनातन आधुनिक शिक्षा पुरातन ज्ञान धाराओं का संगम देश की स्वाधीनता भूमिका शतकोटि वंदन निष्ठा नित्य सत्यम के मंगल की भावों का समागम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक महाविद्यालयों के परिसरों से चिर सुशोभित श्रेष्ठ गुरुजन कर रहे छात्र और छात्राएं दीजिए सदकरिता चार पावन साधना संकल्प से नवल वैश्विक चेतना नव क्रांति संस्कारों का उद्गम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान आलोक अनुपम शेष सुंदर देव विश्वविद्यालय जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान आलोक अनुपम ज्ञान आलोक ज्ञान आलोक अनुपम ज्ञान आलोक.
To celebrate this momentous occasion, we are delighted to present our cultural performance. Please welcome Neela Nair, the member of Natya Mantra, the Indian Classical Dance Society of Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi, who will enthrall us with a captivating dance performance.
Thank you, Neela, for that beautiful performance. We are indeed honored to have such distinguished guests with us today. We humbly request our Honorable Principal, Professor Arun Kumar Atri Sir, our respected convener, Dr. Amrita Bajaj Ma'am, our respected guest of honors, Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma Sir, and Professor Ashutosh Bharadwaj Sir, and our esteemed keynote speaker, Professor Anindita Datta Ma'am, to kindly take their seats on the dais as we prepare for the next segment of the event.
To commence today's proceedings, it is now our honor to invite to the podium respected Dr. Amrita Bajaj Ma'am, the esteemed convener of today's conference. Ma'am is a respected figure in the academic field of geography, known for her pioneering research on urban development and spatial restructuring. Her vision and meticulous planning have been instrumental in bringing this conference to life. Under her expert guidance, this event promises to delve into the complexities of urban transformations, from development missions to the emergence of new urbanism. With immense respect and gratitude for her tireless efforts and leadership, we now invite Dr. Amrita ma'am to share her insights and officially address this gathering as the convener of today's conference. Ma'am, the stage is yours.
थैंक यू सो मच देवांश एंड स्वाति। आप सभी को सादर प्रणाम और भगत सिंह के परिवार में आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। ये हमारी खुशकिस्मती है कि इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आप सबने पूरा बढ़ चढ़ के हिस्सा लिया एंड वी आर प्राउड टू हैव डेलीगेट्स फ्रॉम ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द कॉर्नर्स ऑफ दिल्ली एंड अक्रॉस India as well as from globally, participants have connected with us in this particular conference. Now, when we were thinking about that we have to organize this conference and what should be the possible topic, then my faculty and few of my students' representatives we were sitting together and having a discussion, and we realized that we are living in cities. 50% of the world population currently is in cities, and in few more years, more and more people will be residing in these particular areas. So why not choose a topic which is dealing with the challenges of urban areas? And there is always a constant kind of economic, social, political, environmental warfare which is going on in these cities on some or the other front. As we can feel in Delhi right now that we all are badly suffering from the air pollution. And despite continuous debates, despite continuous efforts, we have not been able to come to any probable solution to deal with this particular thing. So we thought, let us take this initiative. और इनिशिएटिव को सोचने के बाद सबसे ज्यादा सपोर्ट अगर किसी प्रोग्राम को चाहिए होता है तो वो मिलता है आपके प्रिंसिपल सर से। तो हमारे आदरणीय प्रिंसिपल सर प्रोफेसर अरुण कुमार अत्री के पास जब हम इस आइडिया के साथ गए तो उन्होंने कहा आप करिए और मेरा पूर्ण बहुमत इस मामले में आप सबके साथ है। आप जैसा बोलेंगे मैं आपको 100% सपोर्ट दूंगा एंड दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस शुड कम आउट विद सम इम्पोर्टेंट इनसाइट्स व्हिच कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर पॉलिसी मेकिंग एंड कैन लीड टू ग्रेटर गुड फॉर द सोसाइटी। हम बहुत खुश हैं कि हमारे यहाँ से अगर हम बात करें वी हैव ठाकुर सर रामलाल सर फ्रॉम शिमला, वी हैव गौरव सर फ्रॉम चंडीगढ़, वी हैव अभिजीत सर फ्रॉम देहरादून, वी हैव representatives from JNU, Delhi School of Economics, we have people from BHU, we have people from South. तो जब इतने सारे लोग आके एक जगह बैठेंगे और अपने आइडियाज शेयर करेंगे, then I'm sure definitely we'll be coming out with some important insights on this particular topic. देखा जाए तो world is facing a significant wave of urban transformation, और ये transformations are of variety of nature and leads to some complex interplay. Variety of nature in the sense, as I mentioned, we have social, economic, political, and environmental forces working, resulting into a different kind of challenge, contemporary challenges for the cities, especially the emerging cities, like metropolitan cities have their own setup of infrastructure, but definitely the new cities which are coming up need to take care of this to develop some sustainable structure, because it is very important to follow everything with a sustainable paradigm. Restructuring of spaces in India, और ये commonly आजकल हम देख रहे हैं कि there is a lot of restructuring is going on, and that is why we are saying there is emergence of new urbanism, large scale redevelopment policies both at the Delhi level as well as we can see in many cities of India when we are traveling at different places. Lot of displacement, gentrification and homogenization of urban spaces is taking place. And there is always a tussle between aspirations of world-class city as well as needs of the marginalized community in these cities. And therefore, developing sustainable cities, which is the 11th goal or of a sustainable development goal, is becoming a continuous challenge for the policymakers. So therefore, there is a need to examine sustainability claims of current urban development missions. We have so many missions being introduced by our government like smart cities, Amrut, Hriday, and many others to be talked about. And besides them, we have to explore the alternative models of urbanism as well. We have to prioritize inclusivity, resilience, and ecological harmony, empower local communities with knowledge, with important decentralizations of urban governance, integrating traditional knowledge with vernacular practices into contemporary planning, and future of Indian urbanism, therefore, can be reshaped with all these kind of efforts. In this context, we have come up with this conference. I wholeheartedly welcome each and everybody who has come and is becoming a part of this conference. Because किसी भी कॉन्फ्रेंस की सक्सेस के लिए ये माना जाता है कि उसको सक्सेसफुल बनाते हैं ना कि ऑर्गेनाइजर, ना कि वहाँ जो की जो टीम है, सबसे सक्सेसफुल उसको बनाते हैं when there is a participation of maximum presenter. And I think I can see here that there are a lot of people who are presenting and will definitely come out with some good policy suggestions which will be sharing out with different agencies like Niti Aayog and all. एक बार मैं आप सबकी तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करती हूँ कि आप लोगों ने अपना समय निकाला and you are here with us. Thank you so much. And I am thankful to my team of faculty members, my principal sir, my dear students. Till 1 o'clock yesterday night, I think 2 or 3, my students were here and they were making all arrangements. So thank you so much everybody, and now podium is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Now, we are honored to invite to the podium a leader whose vision and commitment have been integral to the growth and academic excellence of Shaheed Bhagat Singh College. Professor Arun Kumar Atri sir, our esteemed principal, has been a guiding force, inspiring both faculty and students alike with his dedication to foster an environment of innovation and scholarly pursuit. A distinguished scholar himself, Sir has made commendable contributions to academia and has been a staunch advocate for holistic development in education. With great respect, we now invite Professor Arun Kumar Atri sir to deliver the welcome address and set the stage for this momentous conference. Sir, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank our guest of honors, Professor Ashutosh, Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma, Professor Anindita, Datta, and the convener and the entire faculty members of Geography Department of Shaheed Bhagat Singh College and other colleges, our senior faculty members, our faculty and my dear students. I think this is the first time we are organizing a conference of this level in the college itself. So we have started this initiative. We have taken this initiative that now the conferences will be held in college premises only, and soon we will have a separate conference hall. Maybe in February we will start the first conference, which will be held completely in the indoor conference hall. So I was just thinking the topic है आपका किस तरह से urban development missions, restructuring of spaces and emergence of new urbanism. अभी थोड़ी देर पहले हम बैठे थे प्रिंसिपल रूम में, तो कुछ हमारे ये जाने की बात कर रहे थे, and it was very much related to this urbanism that जब हम इस तरह का डेवलपमेंट करते हैं urban cities में, तो it goes in contradiction with goals. Growth and development and the environment sustainability. ये बड़ा कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी रहता है और कैलकुलस ऑप्टिमैलिटी स्ट्राइक करना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. Where for how much development, how much we have to sacrifice the environment. तो सर बता रहे थे कि दिल्ली में how development has taken place from the rural areas in the rural areas, जो हम लाल डोरे की बात करते हैं जहाँ पे पहले बैलगाड़ियाँ हुआ करती थी और ट्रैक्टर हुआ करते थे या जो बुलेट कार्ट होती थी, और आज वहाँ पे मर्सिडीज और गाड़ियाँ और बड़ी-बड़ी चीजें आ गई हैं. So same development has taken place. अब वो स्पेसेस तो उतने ही हैं, अब स्पेसेस तो बड़े, लेकिन जो हमारी सोच है, जो हमारी जो व्हीकल्स हम यूज करने लगे हैं, वो सब चेंज हो गया है. अब पहले कहाँ कोई एयर कंडीशन नहीं होता था, एयर कंडीशन है पहले, और वो बड़ा सस्टेनेबल मैकेनिज्म होता था. तो मतलब I can recall that when I also used to live in village till my 5th class, 5th 6th तक मैं गाँव में रहा. उसके बाद यहाँ दिल्ली में आए, तो हमारा ऐसा सस्टेनेबिलिटी का मैकेनिज्म था कि जो खाना बनता था वो चूल्हे पे बनता था, उसका जो फ्यूल था वो गाय के गोबर से आता था, जिसको हम कंडे उगले बोलते हैं. और सुबह जो हमारी माता जी उठ जाती थी 4 बजे, और वो चाकी होती थी, उसी को पीसा करती थी, उसी से गेहूं निकलता था, उससे खाना बनाया जाता था, रोटियां बनती थी, और कोई भी वेस्ट जनरेट नहीं होता था. हमने देखा कि कोई भी प्लास्टिक का वेस्ट जनरेट ही नहीं होता. और व्हाटएवर जो हमारा जो ग्रीन वेस्ट होता था दैट वाज मोर देयर, और वो एक पूरा लोकल एरिया गांव में पूरा एक जगह होती थी, उस जगह पे वो डंप करते थे, तो अपने डिकम्पोज होता रहता था। तो ऐसा कोई हार्मफुल इम्पैक्ट नहीं पड़ा एनवायरनमेंट पे कभी। और पास में तालाब भी था, वहाँ पर सारे तरह के आपको जानवर भी दिख जाते थे, और जो क्या कहते हैं एक्वेटिक बॉडीज होती हैं वो भी सारी वहाँ पर होती है। लेकिन जब हम माइग्रेटेड टू सिटी, तो यहाँ पर बहुत बड़ा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हमने देखा, और बड़े सारे कुछ चैलेंजेस जो हम मतलब देखा कि when we go for this, आज हम बाहर निकल जाए, पार्किंग कहाँ पे हो रही है? फुटपाथ पे। पेडेस्ट्रियन कहाँ चल रहा है? सड़क पे। एक्सीडेंट्स हो रहे हैं, और शॉपकीपर ने अपनी दुकान को इतना बढ़ाया हुआ है, आप यहाँ से निकल के देखिए तो वो पूरा आधा आपको पता ही चलता है कि हम कितना। और प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि we all see that but nobody raise the voice because we have got used to it. हम अपने जीवन में इस तरह की रोजमर्रा से हमने अपने आप को इतना ढाल लिया है कि हाँ यार मुझे चलता है, उसका एक एटीट्यूड है, तो ना ही कोई इसलिए एफर्ट्स करता है। और जो सिटी है, जो हमारे नाना जी बता रहे हैं, वो है इस्लाम, तो वो एक सबसे बड़ा एक चैलेंज है कि भाई हम ग्रो तो कर रहे हैं, डेवलप तो कर रहे हैं, हम बात करते हैं इकोनॉमी हमारी ग्रो कर रही है, इतने ट्रिलियन की हो जाएगी, एंड बट इफ वी वांट टू हैव दैट गोल ऑफ विकसित भारत, जो हमारे भारत के माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का सपना है बाय 2047, सो वी हैव टू वर्क अपॉन इट। और जो आज की ये थीम है, आई एम श्योर दैट दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस विल हेल्प इन प्रोवोकिंग थॉट्स among the scholars and give some solutions, give some suggestions कि how we can have this sustainable urbanism, कि हम किस तरह से स्पेसेस को मैनेज करें। क्योंकि अगर हम 2-2 फ्लोर की बिल्डिंग बनाते हैं तो हम स्पेस ज्यादा लेते हैं, ग्रीन स्पेस कम बचता है। तो वही कॉन्सेप्ट हमने यहाँ पे कॉलेज में भी लगाया है कि हम बिल्डिंग को वर्टिकली ले जा रहे हैं रादर देन हैविंग मोर हॉरिजॉन्टल एक्सटेंशन। एंड आई थिंक वी नीड टू हैव a comprehensive development plan for this urbanism, especially in a city like Delhi, which is in dire need of space. And you can see that today smog, मतलब आज pollution का level जो है वो काफी ज्यादा है, और प्राइमरी स्कूल की बच्चों की क्लासेस ऑनलाइन करी नहीं सरकार ने। तो इस तरह की समस्याएं आगे साथ ना आए, तो I am hopeful that this conference will definitely throw light on these areas. And I am again thankful to all the participants, those who have spared their valuable time and have come here, and I'm especially thankful to the entire geography community. मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ geography community कभी हमें लगता नहीं है, because since when I have joined this college, I have seen that there is so much of homogeneity in the geography department across the colleges, across the university, that they all know each other very well, और एक भी conference होती है सारे लोग उसको एक उत्सव की तरह ही मनाते हैं, celebrate करते हैं। So I am thankful to all those who are participants and have put their efforts to make this conference a grand success. So all the best, my best wishes to all the participants and the convener and the geography department. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful address. We are indeed honored to have distinguished guests among us today. It is a privilege to felicitate them as a token of respect and appreciation. Firstly, we are privileged to have Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma sir as our guest of honor for the event. May I now invite Principal sir and Convener ma'am to felicitate him as a guest of honor. Thank you so much, sir. Now, moving forward, we are grateful to have Professor Ashutosh sir as our second guest of honor for the event. We now request Dr. V.V. Raman sir and Professor Poonam Sharma ma'am to felicitate our guest of honor. Thank you so much, sir. Now, we feel extremely elated to have Professor Anindita Datta ma'am as our keynote speaker for the event. May I request Professor Kavita Arora ma'am and Professor Swati Rajput ma'am to present the honor to our keynote speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to invite all the dignitaries on the stage to release the abstract volume of our conference. This compilation represents the cutting-edge research, innovative ideas, and expert insights to be presented during this conference.
This abstract volume is a testament of the hard work and dedication of our authors, reviewers, and the editorial team. Please put your hands together and congratulate each and every one of them for their valuable contributions.
Thank you, Devansh. May I now invite one person because of whom we all are here, and that's none other who has developed this geography department of Shaheed Bhagat Singh College. So with great applause, kindly welcome Professor B.K. Tyagi sir for a small felicitation, sir. And I invite Raman sir, Poonam ma'am, Swati ma'am and Kavita ma'am to please come up on the stage. Vishwanath sir. All my new faculty members, please felicitate. Thank you, sir.
So now it's the time for put your hands together and congratulate each and every one of the reviewers, editorial team, and all the authors for the valuable contributions in the abstract volume.
It is our privilege to now invite the guest of honor, Professor Ashutosh Bharadwaj sir, to address this esteemed gathering. Professor Ashutosh Bharadwaj sir is the esteemed Dean of International Relations, Science and Technology at the University of Delhi. He is a distinguished professor at the Department of Physics and Astrophysics, University of Delhi. With over 20 years of teaching experience, Professor Bharadwaj has made substantial contributions to academia, having authored more than 100 articles in peer-reviewed reputed journals. His dedication to the field of physics and astrophysics and his extensive experience in international relations make him a highly respected figure in the academic community. He has previously also served as OSD, Admissions, Deputy Dean, Foreign Students Registry, Member, Governing Body and OSD, Institution of Eminence at University of Delhi. Everyone, we are indeed fortunate to have Professor Ashutosh Bharadwaj sir with us today. Please join us in welcoming him to the podium. Sir, the stage is yours.
Good morning. Namaskar. Respected Professor Baniji, Dean of Colleges, he is not here today. Professor Kaushal K. Sharma, guest of honor. Professor Anindita Datta, today our keynote speaker. Professor Arun Attri, Principal in Bhagat Singh College. And Dr. Amrita Bajaj, convener and I think workforce behind this workshop. Other dignitaries, colleagues and participants. I would like to first of all congratulate the college for organizing this international conference on a very relevant theme, which is the need of the hour. We all are aware of it. Urban development missions, restructuring of spaces, and emergence of new urbanism. And thanks to the organizing team and principal sir for inviting me here. So in this two-day conference, as I could see, there are a lot of experts in this field, so I will not dwell much into the topic because you are going to hear from the experts. But as all of us mostly are from urban cities and particularly in Delhi, we know the level of AQI has gone beyond 500 mark of 500, and I think graph 3 has already been announced. So you see that we have been facing this scenario for the past few years during this time of the year. So this is one of the glaring example of challenges we are facing in the urban cities. Another thing I can relate is the shift in weather patterns. So as Principal Sir has talked about while he was growing up, so when my generation was growing up, winters were longer and they were severe than what we had in Delhi. At this point of time, it used to be real winter. But now we are all without sweaters, so you see the effect of urbanization on the climate change. And this pattern, if you see, is not particularly in Delhi, this is a global phenomenon. The weather pattern has been very erratic and it has been observed globally. So these are the two examples I have just touched upon regarding the transformation impacting the environment. But the impacts, as the conference will address more, both on social as well as on economic development of the country. Particularly, I talk about one example of the economic development which we face in our day-to-day lives. Is the kind of congestion we find on the roads and the kind of fuel we basically expend while commuting, and particularly the produce which reaches the common man takes longer time, and also having the economic implications. So that is also affecting when it is produced the cost, and when it reaches the common man, the cost increases because of the transportation. In fact, if you see the way things have developed in the Western countries, when they realize that it is cheaper to produce in Asian countries and the cost of transportation is less, so they moved everything to the developing countries for the production. And because the cost of transportation has been reduced, but in the cities, in the urban cities, the produce which is produced by the farmers and which is reaching us, the cost has a tremendous implication. So also, particularly now, if we see, we have all faced the COVID-19 pandemic, I don't want to talk much, but it has also added new dimensions to the urban sustainability debates, changing the perspective on how the cities are conceived and to be developed. From global perspective, urban transformation requires identifying common patterns in different places, the challenges, and proposing innovative solutions. Indian government is also very well aware of urbanization and has taken steps, proposed steps to mitigate the effects of urban transformation. Under leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India's urban policy has been announced. Some major flagship programs like National Smart Cities Mission, Adult Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, Heritage City Development, and Augmentation Yojana are these few programs to address the future challenges. So I hope these steps will ensure the progress towards more sustainable and resilient urban development in India. Still, there are challenges, as we all know, to address the compatibility between the rapid development as we see today and the sustainable goals, which is also the SDG as announced by the UN. So I am sure, since there is no magic way to solve these problems, this seminar is aptly designed to discuss, calibrate, and formulate urban strategies that focuses on sustainability and resilience, ensuring that cities can thrive amidst global challenges. I am sure that this seminar will contribute to the knowledge exchange and establishing new collaborations among the colleagues from various universities who are participating, and they will work on urban development policies. They will propose new solutions in the context of Indian urbanization. Once again, I congratulate the organizing team, the efforts, as I can see behind the conference, and I wish a very fruitful conference to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your perspectives. We are now deeply honored to welcome our second guest of honor of the event, Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma, sir, to address this esteemed gathering. Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma, sir, the Dean of the School of Social Sciences at Jawaharlal Nehru University and a distinguished Professor of Geography at the Center for the Study of Regional Development, CSRD, with a teaching career spanning 4 decades. Sir has previously served as the Chief Porter at JNU and the Honorary Director of the Northern Region Center, ICSSR. His extensive research interests include agricultural transformation and the rural development, women empowerment, Panchayati Raj institutions, geohazards such as earthquakes, landslides, flood mapping. Everyone, please join us in welcoming Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma, sir, to the podium. Sir, we look forward to your inspiring words and reflections.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning to all of you. Indeed, a pleasure to be here today among all of you. On behalf of Northern Regional Center, Professor Hiran Tiwari has conveyed his best wishes for this conference. The respected Principal Sir, Professor Arun Kumar Atriji, our guest of honor, Ashutosh Datta, and then our keynote speaker, Anindita Datta. Plus my old friend this side, and I can see the collection of people. And what the principal saying about the old generation and still continuing to work with geography, Professor Tyagi. I see Ajay Gujar there, Sanjeev Sharma, even from Himachal Pradesh, Vithakil is there. And I can see all these young geographers, those who have joined the different colleges in Delhi University. I see a collection of people that shows that yes, it is a matter of interest for everyone to come to understand the processes of urban geography and urbanism. I'm not an urban geographer, but yes, I'm influenced by urbanism. I'm influenced by the urban life. And I have spent more than, say, nearly 45 years staying in Delhi. And the kind of a transformation which I've seen, I hope, that makes me realize that the whole urban process has undergone changes. And urbanization is not a new process in India. I hope we are proud of our own heritage of Harappan civilization from where we draw, that we have the art of understanding and knowing urban life and the urban designs. Probably that is where we have taken always the insight of developing our own cities and towns in a better way. I don't blame the system as such, but what happens is when the population is so rapidly increasing, and it is very difficult to just get a jerk, to adjust a jerk suddenly. It takes time. India is a very developing nation.
It's still understanding that when there is a large influx of people and they are migrating to urban areas, and the planning, as what people say, is not very good. There is a lack of efficiency, something. Although that is very right, we try to push the blames on the different administrative bodies. Rightly, we can do that. But understand the kind of the influx of people coming into the cities is too large in size to manage with one go. We are learning to. We are in the state of learning today. And when we are learning, that means there is something which is still to be understood. And whatever mistakes we have done, we are all trying to improve those mistakes and moving forward. And we are learning not from our own self, we are also learning from other developed nations how they have taken up the urban development. It may be a slow process. Let's try to understand. And then we see that how we get influenced, how others are getting influenced. Those kind of feedback keep going to the administration and they keep taking precautions for it. There can be a failure of a policy. As we were there in the principal's room before the conference, I hope there was a common discussion happening. How the rural areas have been engulfed by the expansion of urbanization, how the urbanization has not taken into many considerations. It is very right. It happens with. Before I get into all these details, I thought one thing to see that when you look at the arrangement of it, when you see the arrangements of today, everything is arranged so nicely. You have proper sitting chairs and tables and conferences, everything is arranged. I hope that you see the kind of hard work Amrita has done for a long time to get the thing all arranged. That means for 140 crore people, India has to take that much of time to arrange the food for everyone. And then you say there is no kiosk. If you really want to understand the urban geography, although I'm not a geographer, urban geographer, but when I do something in other areas of interest, I take the help of one mathematical theory that's called as kiosk theory. And if you try to understand the kiosk theory, which provide the valuable insights, please understand the context of the kiosk theory. It says that you have the valuable insight for addressing complex societal problems. Now, the urban society is one, but the component of the urban society are very different. You can design them in different parameters. So that means when there's an insight of the parameters of the component parts, you have to arrange those component parts into the system to create a working system out of the understanding of the kiosk theory. For that, you need to work it upon. You will be touching upon this idea too, and that remains a problem and a challenge. How to link the component parts of the urban system with each other. People generally say, "सड़क बन गई, बाद में पाइप बिछाने वाले को सड़क को तोड़ दिया." You really see this is happening. That means there is a miscoordination of the different components of the administration system that leads to a failure of something which we don't appreciate that. So that means all the components of the different body of the urban system need to now align themselves. My concern of understanding to a large context of the kiosk theory is not like this. But when we say, which concerns me is that the topic that has been given to me is the emergence of the new spaces or the new urbanism. What urban areas have been, which you know I know. How the new emerging of the urbanism world is that has been kept. Now you have to understand the word as is to why this is to. Amrita has added to. She may be knowing that the kind of a systematic thought which is prevailing in the mind of the people of urban planners that will create an emerging is in the thought of new planning for the urban development. And that is the emerging trend in the knowledge system today. And that we need to explore that what is the kind of new thought that is being developed from time to time by the different agencies involved in the management of the whole urban setting themselves. Then this new urbanism is a design and a movement. I will not take more time, only 3-4 points I will discuss for your concern when you are delivering the lecture like this. This new urbanism is the urban design movement that emphasizes creating walkable, mixed-use and sustainable communities. It is the thought process of today under the new urbanism. So when you are looking at the new urbanism, I say that whether I am able to walk free in different parts of the city or not, whether walkable roads and systems are arranged or not. You just see, you are sitting that side, and the carpet is there, it has an alignment, and people are walking through. Whether we are able to walk in the same way in our streets and or in the different parts of the city or not. Then you say the chaos is there, and all footpaths have been occupied by the commercial activities. That creates a system failure somewhere. So that is where the new urbanism has to begin from where a person without a car or a motorcycle has to move. And that too on foot. Whether he is able to walk freely in that system or not is one concept of the new urbanism. Second is the mixed use development combining residential, commercial and recreational spaces. It is a very common thought, and the different kind of urban theories when we read, there is a segregation of spaces. That how these spaces will be used by the different kind of stakeholders is now being designed very differently in the new urban system today. Earlier, the system prevailing, maybe you see, the Connaught Place can be one, or maybe that's a later. Southern Bazaar is one, which you say is very chaotic today. You say the Chandni Chowk is there, now they are creating a new space in the Chandni Chowk. Now the cars and the rickshaw will not move, you have to walk down. The beautifications have been done. It is a new emerging space. Within this space is existing, which were old enough earlier, but there is a need that we need to create those spaces. So there is an emerging spaces within the system of the old system prevailing. This is again a thought which is to be done and understood, but yes, there is a compactness that another area of concern is high density, reducing sprawl and promoting efficiency. Now what has happened, I don't know how many people understand why this rapid transport system which is coming up, joining the periphery, small towns, or how the metro that came up. If you remember the first metro when it came up, it joined Shahadra with the Rohini side. The commercial places and centering it to the ISP. And then there was a Jahangir Puri to Dwarka. Then not Dwarka, but then कौन सी जगह थी नहीं जहाँ जहांगीर पूरी वाली मेट्रो जाती है लास्ट में गुड़गांव में कहाँ पर खत्म होती है. You see the transaction points. The transaction points were, one is the ISBT, another is a Connaught Place. You have the largest cross sections of these two places. One ISBT and another, you are joining all the railway stations, and at the same time you are joining all the places from where the different commuters really they move for work or something like that. This is the decongestion. It was thought, and I remember still when I don't know whether I'm taking more time of it. What's the whole part? Okay, I'll take 5 minutes more. To make you understand that how I understand the urbanization, sprawl and the decongestion taking place. So, usse kya hua ki when people used to move in the buses, By the time they used to enter the office, they were sweating, and then the order that was released, I hope that was not good in the office complex. So now what has happened is all AC buses coming up, and the metro reaching the periphery, then people moving in the metro with AC, the order and the smell remain the same as when they start from home and enter their office. Their work efficiency increasing, and they move to the periphery. This is where the new urbanization is looking forward, that how the rapid transport from Sarai Kale Khan to Mere, the rapid transport, the system is going to change the mind that within say 45 minutes, people will reach the Sarai Kale Khan from say Sarai Kale Khan from the Mere. Then they do not need a house to stay in Delhi. It is to decongest. The same rapid metro is also being considered for Kadma. I remember when you go to the old or the new Delhi railway station and then catch a little late evening train, you will see people from Karnal coming on daily basis to work in North Place and Chandni Chowk and Sadagala. They don't find time to stay with their family. When they start, the children are sleeping. And when they reach home, the children are again sleeping. They hardly meet the children in their family. They don't spend time before. The rapid transport system for the main city center to the periphery has to efficiently decongest through the mode of transportation, and that is the emerging new urban system as such. So therefore, this is again a concern of new urbanization which is happening. There is a diversity and inclusive communities with varied house types and ages and income. This is where the periphery you see is growing very fast. The kind of housing system with the different kind of communities moving in. And then if you remember, the different communities made a cluster of their own. I know the Kannada society where I come from, Rohini, Sare Deki group mein rehte hain. Bangla society or something like this. So people make a conglomeration of their own identity and they wanted to establish as such with it. And then there is a issue of the new urbanism that what Bhagwatji made a comment on that smart city. You say smart city can be one concept of the total new urbanization. You have to develop the interrelationship between the new and the old urban systems. Only then the smart cities can survive. They also want to have a link outside, and that link has to be maintained, and that is what is considered to be. Another area of concern today is that large number of old cities which are prevailing today do not have the open spaces for the movement of people to move. Therefore, that new urbanization always considers the open spaces as vibrant parks and plazas and squares, fostering community interaction. In today's urbanization, what is happening is, when I stay in a multi-story apartment, I do not know who's staying up in the second floor or the third floor. There's a complex kind of a situation of fearing the mind of people. They don't want to interact with each other. They don't know what kind of community and background they have come from. This is the biggest issue of the urban areas today. Therefore, they say that there should be open spaces where people should participate and they should become more vibrant and they should interact with each other so that there is no fear in the mind of people. They should not fear the other person from why he or she and what they do, and they will know what they are doing. That is another area of concern. And lastly, what people they say that the sustainability of the cities is important. Now, when you look at the cities, everything is brought from outside. They are already at the breakdown. If some lines and communications are broken, smart city concept is related to where you are going to have your own water supply, your own electricity, everything has to be within the city complex. Otherwise, the system becomes a failure. If your lines are broken from outside, from the periphery, then what will happen to Delhi as such? One small example, now the Bangladesh electricity is produced in India, the remunerations are not put to Adani. He said, I will stop the electricity. Now that can create a biggest chaos. Now, these situations should not arise. Therefore, they say you need to have to maintain the basic strides through which you can understand that the urban system should survive or sustainable. That will simply reduce the traffic congestions or maybe increase the physical activity, enhance the community engagement, improve the air quality and economic viability, preservation of natural resources, and increase property values. I hope these are concerns you all know them well, those who work on the urban geography as such. But my concerns have been that when I am the user of the urban system, I need all this. I don't say what you do, but I need it. So who will make me all this? The agencies where I pay tax, or other people are paying tax to them, the taxpayer money has to be utilized in a proper manner. That should not create a chaos in the system. Therefore, we have always a tendency that there is something which is to be blamed for. I hope these are the issues and concerns of the new urbanism, what is happening on the new urban areas which are emerging today, should have the self-sufficiency, and the geographers need to really, those who are interested in, I don't say everyone is interested in urban geography, but those who are working in the field of urban geography has to work on the is of. If you are able to understand the is within urban, is the prefix that has been added to, you'll be able to get a good insight of what kind of the work is needed to be done in the urban geography. In a way, I have spoken too much and I like to make myself understand because I also want the same thing which you want as an individual. So it is not what I require and you don't require. So we require. But those who are doing the research on this, they have to be more particular. But another question that gives me a point to make you understand how the voices of the urban geographers are heard in the public policy or in the domain where the public policies are created. We don't have any role or we are not even considered anywhere in the public domain that you are a good public policy. Therefore, your research now today is required that you should work more on creating a policy framework पे काम करना चाहिए. If you don't work on policy today, your research has no value. So therefore, all of you, those who work on this, and what is the great learning out of this? Before I end up my speech, I really thank Amrita for arranging everything. I know the principal has given us a good ambience to come to this place. I was just making references that such a beautiful hall, say the ambience of the college. They have given us the good gifts also. Plus, they have given the all surroundings so beautiful. So, all these things make a learning for everyone. Those people who organize the conferences and workshops, please learn from them how to place a thing in order. And this is really very good. I'm very happy that the money which is being given should be planned properly. And it should give an aesthetic value and it should be remembered for many years to come that yes, Amrita was one who organized this. And the college should also be remembered for that they can organize better conferences. Then I was making a reference to Anindita, Datta, that there is always that colleges are also making a big way in the academia. So there has to be again another further link between the Delhi School of Economics or maybe CSID in JU, and our chairperson is also here. He can make a reference to that all stakeholders need to grow together and make ourselves understandable to planners and policymakers. I hope whatever the efforts you are making, it can be a big deal with. But yes, it is a really great, nice effort. And I could understand the work they have done. Compiling so much of information takes a huge time. And writing, they have come out with and so many articles and conferences. And then the different modules they have kept. And the different kind of speakers with varied kind of the ideas they are going to float and come up is very nice. I don't say you come up with a policy paper from here, but the students should learn. The teachers who want to do research, they should also learn from here. With all this, I thank once again the organizers for giving me a chance to come here and share my some views of understanding that how I am able to understand and feel the heat of the urban system as such. With this note, all my colleagues, thank you very much for listening to me. You are more knowledgeable than me, but still I carried a few points in my mind that I should share with you. I have done it. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much, sir. It is now our distinct privilege to introduce the distinguished keynote speaker for today's conference, Professor Anindita Datta ma'am, a respected academic and thought leader in the field of geography. Professor Anindita Datta ma'am is the Vice President of the International Geographical Union and the esteemed head of the Department of Geography at the Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi. Her research spans feminist geography, conceptual traditions in geography, and the social geography of India. Her work focuses on visualizing an indigenous feminism, spaces of resistance, everyday geographies, and addressing gendered and epistemic violence. Notably, she chaired the International Geographical Union Commission for Gender and Geography, leading it to win the IGU Commission Excellence Award in 2022. In recognition of her significant contributions to feminist geography and her dedication to women's issues in geography in India, she was honored with the Jan Monk Service Award in 2023 by the Association of American Geographers, Feminist Geography Specialty Group. Now, I would like to invite our respected convener, Dr. Amrita ma'am, to take over the mic for further felicitation of Professor Anindita Datta ma'am.
Thank you so much, Swati. And may I take the privilege, another 1 minute, to felicitate Anindita ma'am, because ma'am has been nominated as the Vice President for the International Geographical Union, and that's one of the greatest moments for all of us. She is making India proud, and she's always been, as she had mentioned in her speech, a stalwart and a torchbearer in gender issues and related to urban studies as well. So, ma'am, thank you so much for coming here, and we invite you here for a small felicitation. I invite Professor Thakur from Shimla University, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma from JNU, and Saleha ma'am from AMU and Rui from BHU to join us in the felicitation. Poonam ma'am, I request you to kindly come on the stage too. So, ma'am, entire India will be felicitating you on this stage.
Thank you, all the dignitaries. Now, without any further ado, we eagerly anticipate for Professor Anindita Datta ma'am's keynote address and the insights she will bring to this gathering. Ma'am, the stage is yours.
Distinguished guests, Honorable Principal Sir, Professor Bhardwaj, dear colleagues, students, and my geography family. Warm greetings on the occasion of Guru Nanak Jayanti, Kartik Purnima, and Birsa Munda Jayanti as well. Indeed, an auspicious day to begin our deliberations. It is my proud privilege to keynote this international conference on urban development missions, restructuring of spaces, and emergence of new urbanisms in my capacity as a feminist geographer, past chair of the IGU Commission on Gender and Geography that is supporting this event, and vice president of the IGU. My association with Shaheed Bhagat Singh College goes back a very long way, and coincidentally, the college has been the first to invite me to deliver a talk when I joined the University of Delhi in 2002, more than 2 decades ago. And now, in the 100th year of geography, in my first official engagement in the University of Delhi in the capacity of Vice President IGU. Thank you so much for this moment. In a lighter vein, the convener of this conference, Dr. Amrita, has been my student, and in the spirit of feminist mentorship and academic collaboration, her every wish is my command. So there is no way that I could say no to her invitation. Thank you, Amrita, once more. I congratulate Amrita, the convener, and the organizing committee on their choice of theme and the timing of the conference. On a day when the AQI of Delhi is off the charts, the graded action plan has kicked in. What could be more opportune than initiating the discussion on urban development, the need to restructure urban spaces, and examine the emergence of new urbanisms? In keynoting this important discussion, I am going to quote and paraphrase some of my recent work on urbanisms, and gender rights to the city. New urbanisms are characterized by mixed-use development, are transit-oriented, they focus on walkability, inclusion, and diversity, and also on preventing placelessness. This spatial dissonance is, I think, extremely important for us to pick on as geographers. This concept of new urbanisms has gained a lot of ground in the West, in Europe, in US. Urban-led development is sort of propelled by this kind of thinking, and also this thinking is, in the mind behind various urban development missions that have come into play hereabouts with the aim of restructuring our urban spaces. Hence, it is time for us here in India to examine the forms that these new urbanisms will take or are taking in our context, in our Indian context, in our Asian context, in our southern contexts. Witnessing rapid changes in urban form, I am reminded increasingly of Marc Aurè's notion of non-place, as well as Soya's exposition on exopolis. Writing in the early 90s, Aurè notes the increasing depersonalization and transactional nature of urban spaces, which have become devoid of any meaningful connection. In the same period, Soya expounds on the exopolis, the product of the combined process of decentralization and re-centralization simultaneously. Connecting Soya's exopolis to all non-place, these developments could easily be translated to no place, the lack of connection, spatial dissonance, lack of community, and depersonalization in the fast-paced changes in urban form, which have various implications. And these changes are a result of this planning which is led by these new urbanisms. So, as a scholar, I feel that this kind of theorization on new urbanisms is still firmly in the grasp of, as we say, firmly in the grasp of Eurocentrism. And it is high time that our community of geographers here starts theorizing from our context. वो जो मिट्टी की खुशबू है ना, that is missing from our theory. In fact, theory is missing, and so is the fragrance from the ground, the mitti ki khushbu, and I would say once again, a gentle push towards the grounded theory and the vernacular urbanisms that are emerging all around, everywhere around us. Again, the intersections of extractivism, environmental justice, coloniality, hierarchies of privilege and oppression within the urban cannot be ignored while expounding on restructuring of spaces and the emergence of these new urbanisms in our context. I would like to draw attention to Lindsay Dillon's recently published book, very recently, hot off the press, Toxic City. I think reading that will help us in theorizing from the ground here. And a few years earlier, Leslie Kern's book, Feminist City, which help us to examine some of these intersections. I'm also very inspired by Linda Teague and her team. I've had the privilege of working with them for the last 5 years, which is examining feminist urban theory and saying that theorization anywhere in the world needs to look at examples of the South and needs to center social reproduction. Cities that center care are cities which foster connections and are cities which are inclusive. So centering social reproduction into urban theory is the way to go. Finally, I would like to end this short keynote with an excerpt from my own book, which is again published last month on Mahaashtami Day, co-written with Linda Peake and Grace Avini Ogunyankin. We write in our introduction to the Elgar Handbook of Gender and Cities, and I quote, "An inevitable looming cloud curtains the city. At any moment, there may be a downpour. We are just one natural disaster or one incidence of violence or one pandemic away from displacement or death. We are seemingly running against time, and to this end, to borrow little from Audre Lorde, feminism is not a luxury, at least not when it comes to our understandings of, aspirations for, and lived realities within the urban. The consequences of urbanization, a process that is determining our present and future as urban, are deeply gendered, whether through migration, the organization of everyday life, or violence. We contend that the entanglement of gender and urban space through what Chandra Kalapada Mohanty, 1988, calls historical heterogeneities, and Ananya Roy more recently has termed historical difference, lies at the heart of understanding the ways in which the urban is made and remade, broken apart and reassembled. I wish you all fruitful deliberations and once again extend my good wishes to the organizing committee, convener, and the supporting commissions of the IG. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your profound words. Due to an urgent meeting at the university, our respected chief guest, Professor Balram Pani sir, could not make up to the conference, but today he has sent his best wishes and a welcome note for all the presenters from across the globe.
To formally express our gratitude, I now invite the organizing secretary of the conference, Professor Swati Rajput ma'am, for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dean. Good morning to all of you. And we are very fortunate that we heard these eminent dignitaries over here. And I could see that there were some key words they have given in their speeches. So I'm not sure whether I can take all of them, but I've tried to summarize in 2 lines that new urbanism should be all about the creation of walkable, diverse, inclusive, non-toxic, and sustainable spaces. So, this 2-day conference is expected to give a resilient solution to numerous existing urban issues in India and all over the world. On this note, on behalf of Department of Geography, Shaheed Bhagat Singh College, I, Professor Swati Rajput, the organizing secretary of the international conference, take this opportunity to extend a formal vote of thanks of this inaugural ceremony. I take this privilege to thank our chief guest, Professor Balram Pani ji, who has sent his best wishes for the conference. I convey my deep regards for Professor Kaushal Kumar Sharma sir, Dean Social Sciences, JNU, and Professor Ashutosh Bharadwaj sir, Dean International Relations, Delhi University, for their gracious presence in this occasion. My sincere thanks to our keynote speaker for the event and Vice President IGU, Professor Anindita Datta, ma'am, for taking out time from her busy schedule and giving a thought-provoking address. The department also proposes a special heartfelt thanks to our respected principal, Sir Professor Arun Kumar Atriji, for his constant support and guidance. Heartfelt thanks to our sponsors and knowledge partners, contributors, participants for joining us here today on this event. Last but not the least, special words of appreciation for all our students, teaching, non-teaching staff who were constantly working hard in last few months. under the dynamic leadership of our convener, Dr. Amrita Bhagat. So let us share insight and exchange knowledge on this special platform of the conference in next 2 days. I wish all the best and thank you once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
With that, we conclude the inaugural session of our conference.